All right. Hotep, and welcome, all my universal brothers and sisters, my universal family. It's your brother Ali, and I'm back at you today at Friday, June 10th, 2011. And the topic for this evening will be nefarious family and friends. I'm sure we can all relate. um, I decided to further discuss this topic or further give further insight. I'm sorry, give further insight on this topic because, like I said, I'm sure we can all relate, and I'm sure we all deal with that mostly um, more than anything else, or more than any other kind of energy. Um, Evil or disagreeable family and friends. We're constantly imprisoned with the whole cycle, the vicious cycle of being attached to tribal consciousness and social consciousness, where we gotta be around our family and friends all the time, where we gotta constantly be doing things for them, and just pretty much playing the victim role or playing the puppet role, whatever the case may be. But besides that, you know, I know that a lot of the negative energy that people still experience is due to their nefarious family and friends. So, how do we um, how do we evade that, if you will, or how do we? I don't want to say escape it because we're not running from anything. We're addressing our fears. We're addressing our problems. So again, like I guess we could just say, like, again, how can we avoid the recurrence of these issues with our family and friends? It's simple, you know. You just become neighbors. Simply separate yourself as much as possible. Um, you want to rely on yourself as much as possible. That is the idea of sovereignty. Um, Part of the idea of sovereignty. And we don't want to allow them to victimize us in any way whatsoever. What I mean by that, well, for example, um, your mother has an appointment, somewhere on Tuesday, and you already have plans, but she's counting on you, or she's expecting you rather, to chauffeur her around. Well, she's your mother. How can you say no to mother? Um, Especially when she has important business to take care of, or at least it's important to her. Well, obviously there are more polite ways to turn a person down, but the bottom line is we're not obliged to anyone, um, because we have to keep in mind that this is all an illusion, and that all of these things around us, all of these people, places, and things around us that keep us locked into this dimension or this matrix aren't real. Even family, even bullshit ass family, as Bobby would say. So we don't want to get caught up in that cycle. Um, I think that it's very intelligent for a person to. I'm gonna sound fucked up for saying this, but I think it's very intelligent for a person to not fuck with their family so much, because there are a lot more emotions attached when dealing with family versus dealing with friends. And when you have a nefarious relative, it makes it harder to cope with, especially if you're supposed to be married to that person or something of that nature, or if they're your parents. Ooh, especially if they're your parents. Um, my mother had to experience that herself, where both her parents were drug addicts and drug dealers and XYZ. So my grandmother, her mother is now dead, and her father is entitled Kingpin of Ohio. So there you have it. Um, it's a lot to deal with, despite what anyone might think. It really is a lot to deal with. But I think the best way to cope with it is, if you can't change it, which most of this energy we can't change, then just totally fucking block it out. Just fuck it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing you can do about it. There's no reason to catch any feelings over it. You know what I'm saying? To feel any type of way about it. It's easier said than done, believe me. But we have to program ourselves. We have to deprogram ourselves. Then reprogram ourselves because we've been conditioned with bullshit. So we've been conditioned with bullshit so much that we will put up with a motherfucker's bullshit for years. You know what I'm saying? We call it love. We call it love, but this motherfucker has been doing all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And the motherfucker's still around. You still love this motherfucker. Well, he's a motherfucker, and you don't have to deal with that shit. You don't have to, by any means, not buy a motherfucking ring, no goddamn papers that further make you a slave of the state. You don't have to deal with that shit. So I think that a lot of people are going to look at this video and think, you know, I've heard this before, or maybe I haven't heard this before, but it sounds good. How is he actually dealing with it? Well, I'm going to tell you some good shit, and I need for everybody to take heed. I don't fuck with nobody, for real. I have been to Hebrew, very much so. It's not easy. I'm not going to lie. It's not easy. I'm talking about being secluded in a house that is in the boondocks, or the boonies as we call it, just in the cut, you know what I'm saying? No transportation, really, no resources to go about and do much of anything in their system. In their system. I guess you could say I'm sovereign. Not legally, not by papers, you know, whatever, but, you know, I don't fuck with people. Not even family. Not even bullshit-ass family, because I realize, even at a young age, that family can be full of shit, too. And then my friends, shit, are they really my friends? These are the questions that we need to start asking ourselves. Are these people really who the fuck they say they are? You start there, evaluate that situation, evaluate that person in that context, and then we might be able to get somewhere. Who are you? Where do you come from? And what are you here to do? What is your motherfucking purpose? Because a lot of motherfuckers are walking around like zombies and vampires, energy-sucking fucking pests. I mean, just like they're fucking dead, walking around in limbo, fucking with the living. And we have a job to do. We are in the middle of a process, or a rite of passage. We are in the middle of ascension. We don't have time for this shit. And yet, motherfuckers, you know, still want to be on their bullshit. Even family. It's just nefarious ways, and they're of nefarious nature. Reviewing the definition of nefarious, it simply means wicked or evil or disagreeable. I like to focus more on the disagreeable part because wicked and evil are kind of arbitrary, but disagreeable is simply disagreeable. When we say disagreeable, we just mean someone who hardly ever goes along with the program. They're always going against the grain, or they're always generating problems, concerns, issue after issue. They cause a lot of chaos, and a lot of times they do it subtly, you know. Excuse me. So we have to be careful, have to be cautious. Like I said, we don't want to cast our pearls to the swine, and we don't want to become distracted. Remember, knowledge is divine right. Practice it. It's only intelligent to avoid a person or situation that we know has a pattern of chaos. When we start feeding into that shit, that is when it becomes our will, and then our will turns into some other shit. And we like, oh, how did this happen? Or why is this happening? Or whatever the fuck the case may be. Well, at some point you had the will that, hey, I'm going to fuck with it or I'm not going to fuck with it. A lot of shit I don't fuck with. I just simply don't desire it. I don't desire to be around other people who aren't on a conscious level, who don't speak in metaphysical tongues or ancient tongues or whatever the case may be. Anybody who doesn't embellish on the knowledge. Anybody who is not after enlightenment. I don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with them. Anything, you know what I'm saying? I still do mediocre things. Oh, my fan fell. It's about the storm. But anyhow, I still do somewhat mediocre activities, or I still engage in somewhat mediocre activities, if you will. But for the most part, I'm very focused. My door just shut. The wind is going off. The storm is coming. And I know it's a fake storm. I already know, but fuck it. I like to take the energy and just run with it. You know what I mean? I love it. I like nature. I love nature. Although we know that's unnatural. They're playing weather wars. They're so lame, kids. But anyhow, I'm very focused. And I'm only saying that because there is an example of somebody out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm a regular person. I don't have any degrees or anything. I've gone to college, but I didn't leave a degree or anything. Got the whole house going. You know what? It's kind of hard for me to continue talking about what I'm talking about right now, or the topic that I initially started discussing with this weather like this. That's a whole other topic in itself, but I'll make a part 2 or something for that. But I just want to let you all know that there are people out there like you, and if you aspire to reach a certain degree of consciousness, everybody's walking their own path, so don't feel rushed or intimidated or whatever the case may be. Just relax. Just enjoy life. Just enjoy what the Creator has created for us. This is all for us. And when we leave, it's a wrap. So we need to appreciate everything while we still have it. You know how they say, the people don't appreciate things until they're gone or until they don't have them anymore. That's what it's going to be like for this earth. Very much so. So stay away from the fucked up family and friends. Stay away from repetition, bullshit activity, and ways of living. Stay away from the bullshit, gutter-ass, rat-ass food. And watch these goddamn weather wars, because they're coming. And they don't intend on stopping. No, hell no. This is only the beginning. I'm not afraid by far, because shit, what's going to happen is going to happen, and what's going to happen is going to happen to who it's supposed to happen to, and I ain't worried about the shit, believe me. But, goddamn, I'm just truly intrigued and somewhat eager to see what's going to happen in the Midwest more than any other part, because we haven't really been struck yet. Missouri and all those states, but I'm talking about Indiana, Ohio, you know what I'm saying, West Virginia, all of those states. We haven't been here yet. I live in Ohio. So right now, this storm looks pretty crazy. I'm going to go look at it and figure out what the fuck these people are up to now. And I encourage you all to stay up, stay positive, stay peaceful. All right? Ashe. Hotep.